Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one I'm on my account. We're actually going to be taking a look at Macho Man without a Yeet plate or drip plate. So a lot of people, have Macho, and obviously the JD drip and the JD Yeet plate are awesome. Macho hits hard with those, but I thought because Macho was on the backstage pass, you can get a 6-star bronze for $9.99 if you want to have filled stars, which will make him hit the hardest. So if you don't have star fill frags and stuff, plus all the other stuff you get, it's actually a decent deal. It's one of those deals that if I didn't have Macho Gold, I would I would definitely buy. But to make Macho work, you need this moment. It's basically, it might have been given away. It's been next to dirt cheap for a long time. If you're a newer account, you won't have it, but be on the lookout for it. It shouldn't be hard to obtain just when it rolls around. 200% more all color gem damage is huge. And then, column and row breaks 1500% more damage. The 50% less damage is nice too. So we're going to take a look at Macho with no Melo and with no JD drip plate and no Yeet plate. So a really solid substitute that a ton of people have. This has been super cheap on prize walls is the Pig Boy plate, Insatiable Hunger. Whenever you make 6 or more but row break gems, increase all your gem damage by 50% for one turn. It's 50%. And then an ultimate plate that has been fairly obtainable on a few walls, for sure. Definitely not in the paid section on a couple walls, depending how your faction did. When you break 7 plus row break gems, generate 22 random black gems. Now, before we get into it, I'll talk about a couple upgrades to this. So obviously you could have the JD Drip, which would be an upgrade to the Pig Boy. You could also use Death Row, the anniversary plate. That would be an upgrade. And here, obviously the Yeet plate is the big upgrade, but also any Royal Rumble plate would be an upgrade because you get more gems. In particular, purple Royal Rumble would be fantastic. So if you have an extra purple Royal Rumble sitting around, throw that on. I just thought this plate was more accessible, but purple would hit harder for sure. Black would be fine as well, but purple would be my choice if you had it, and any color is good. But to know the best colors for him, if you look at his stats, right? If you go in here, info, and look at his stats. So purple is the absolute best Royal Rumble color. Blue would be the second best. Black and yellow tied for third. And then finally red and green. Any of those Royal Rumble plates would be really quite good. So, yeah, there's that. It's just the same moveset as always. Knee drop, back elbow smash, and diving double axe handle. They're all 5 MP, which is great. You don't need Santa to get them loaded. That's another plus for Macho. If you don't have a 17k Santa, you can still play him. Knee drop, make 12 random gems into column breaks, 34k damage. Okay. A back elbow smash, make 12 random gems into row breaks. Okay, both pretty simple. And then the diving double axe handle is a 50% gem boost for one turn. So it's a little bit of extra gem boost, which is kind of nice. Entourage is also very, very friendly here. Woods and Woods. And then we got Rabbit, because we want 3 more row breaks. And then we got McDonough because we want 3 more column breaks. That lets us make 15 and 15. Makes it much more likely to blow up the whole board, and you don't want to miss ever. So this should work like 99% of the time, probably, or better. Anyway, it's 100% gem damage strap, regular Furies. Let's go see what this looks like now that we're done talking. And I'll run it a few times real quick for you, and you can see how effective it is. Even without Melo. Gameplay loop's really simple. His animations are fast. Quite good. Of course, Death Row would go off and make 8 times multiplies of 8. It's actually better than so in order, it's Pig Boy, JD plate, Death Row, and then finally OG drip plate, because that would proc twice. Then you just hit your buff, and then you're going to swipe and blow up the whole board, and then Rabbit Plate's going to come down, and you're going to make a bunch more breaks, and that's 67 million gem damage from Macho without Yeet or a drip, right? So there's a ton of plate combos you can make work with this. This is probably the low end plate, starting plate to work with, right? So it's just awesome. Let me run it one more time. There's going to be a little bit of variance depending how many your rabbit plate connects and with how many loot box gems are on the board. That'll give you variance, so. It's also very fast to play. Not as big a cascade there. Loot boxes, still 64 million gem damage. Pretty good, right? And then if you have Melo, you can tune it up a little bit more, only use 1 MP trainer, so I'll show you that. And then I personally like Sarge because it's more row breaks. They're 1500%, and it's a even harder chance that it could ever miss. And you guys know I don't like to miss, so that's how my preferred way to run it. Now you could, if you wanted to, probably get more damage potentially if you went with Sarge here. And then if you went with rainbow gem damage for the row break trainer, so right here where he's red and generate 3 more rows, if we went with Austin, you could probably generate a little more gem damage. So, but that's really going to be hard to tell because there's so much variance in like what the board is like. But I can put Austin on. I'll just show you with Melo real quick. This is a nice one. Only 3 loot box gems. Very nice cascade. Very nice. That's 75 million. But that was a big cascade, right? So, yeah. Macho can absolutely get it done for you guys, like without necessarily crazy stuff, like considering this first one, there's no trainer higher than an A tier here, right? And this one, Melo, is hard to get for sure, but the plates, the pig boy has been very obtainable, very obtainable, and the other one hasn't been hard to get either. For all as far as ultimates go, the rabbit plate down a rabbit hole. One of my buddies has like 4 or 5 of them, and he hasn't tried to get any of them. Don't ask me how. But and then, like I said, you could also swap rabbit out for Austin if you have him, and he is worth leveling up. That 40% rainbow is quite nice. Hall of Fame Hogan also has a rainbow. He only goes up to 30%, but when you're blowing up the board without a specific color, these rainbows work really nice, potentially, right? I use Austin all the time as a coach. One of the more useful ones now. Nice board again, only 3 loot box gems, a lot of black gems, a lot of purple. This is a really good board. The last one was a really big cascade, so we'll see how it compares. This looks like we should do good work there. Not many black gems here for this to proc into, though. We did okay, though. And that was 70, right? So not really a big difference one way or the other with Austin, but again, it's impossible to tell because of the variances in your boards, cascades, etc. But I mean, that's a bunch of stuff for Macho, everything over 60 million with those plates. And again, there's a path to upgrade if you want plate-wise, so he can hit better. And that would be like JD drip, death row into OG drip plate, and then rabbit plate into any rumble plate into yeet plate, right? So all of that stuff works really well. I think Macho's awesome. I think it's worth doing this, especially because there's been so much, including myself, how amazing he is with a yeet plate, how hard he can hit and stuff, but he can also get it done with lesser plates too. So I wanted to show you guys that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, this is one of those better backstage pass deals in my opinion. If you don't have Macho, or if you haven't leveled him, or if you have hollow stars, right? It's because you get all the other stuff on top of it. So anyway, remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Ooh, look at that. We're coming in right under 10 minutes. A sub 10-minute vid for Mherex? Heck yeah. Look at me go. Efficiency.